Hello there, my name is Rick,
Ciao, my name is Millie.
and this is episode 19
19.
of season 3
Tre.
of Yonks
Yonks
Ago. I'm not sure about that one, but we must
It
soldier
sounded
on.
good for me.
Well, we'll see what the final cut does. Last week's was amazing. Anyway, don't let me get distracted. We'll talk about this after this very prime numbered theme song.
This is Yonks Ago, coming into your ears. Now what are yonks? They're kinda like years. Just a father and a daughter who want to know all about some people from Yonks Ago. Interesting people who did interesting stuff, but about whom we don't know enough. So we're gonna dig deep and find it all out. Yonky doodlers know what we're all about. Yonks Ago, hey ho, hey, Yonks Ago, hey ho, hey, surely.
I nearly got carried away in the introduction, Millie. And who knows what would happen. Imagine if we got halfway through the episode and then played the theme song.
I don't know. I'm not against it.
Nah, one day, we'll let it roll. And people are like, oh, they're doing it.
But that would mean we wouldn't be talking about Donny B until after the theme song.
True.
Right?
It would be, we'd really have to ramble. That doesn't sound like us. Rambling. We're always staying on task. It's our number one goal in life. Stay on point.
Thought you were going to say task.
I know, you'd think because I'd set it up.
Yeah.
But that's what happens. My brain wanders. I'm like, I've already said that word. Say a different word. And then later on, I can bring task back and it'll be like reincorporating task. You'll be like, what?
Whoa.
And
Wasn't expecting that one.
That's the rules of comedy. Just coming
Okay.
at you. I'm just giving you a little bit of comedy lessons.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey,
So
right.
I can be funny.
Don't be afraid to write it down. Not just with your brain pencil. That's it. I wish you actually did write down a couple of keywords. You got the pen out. Good prop comedy. Obviously on a podcast, visual comedy.
I'll write down task. Was task the word?
Perfect. That's all you need to do.
Okay.
And that's just the commitment to the bit. So look, we're at episode 19, which is a prime number.
Yeah.
As mentioned briefly in the introduction, the non-rambling introduction.
Name one number that is divisible by 19 that isn't 1 or 19.
Yeah, we could be here all day and still not come up with a real, actual, factual number.
Exactly.
And that's and we did spend 45 minutes before we started recording this podcast brainstorming numbers that could be divisible. And we came up with nothing. Which is why we've decided it must be prime.
Yeah.
Or prime enough.
Yeah. Close to prime.
Like, I figure if it's taken us over 45 minutes to find any other number, I mean, even if you're not a prime, hats off to you.
Yeah.
Like you're putting in the effort to appear prime. You pass as prime.
Yeah.
And so we'll allow it. 19, prime or not, you get in the theme song.
Pretty much prime.
You're basically prime.
Yeah.
And so that's where we've landed on 19 as a prime number.
Yeah.
If anyone has any issues with that, feel free to contact us by all the usual mediums. You know what they are. Obviously the main one, open up your window and call out into the void. Chances are we'll hear it. That's the main way to contact us.
Yeah, but we'll only hear it on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Any other day, probably not. The wind gets a bit loud.
Yeah.
But Tuesdays it settles down a bit.
Did you open your window on a Friday? Idiot. What are you thinking, Yonky Doodlers? Check the weather forecast. But look, obviously, I've had a lot of time to think. We've had a lot of time between episodes. Because a lot's going on. You've had school holidays.
Listen, we're in different states.
You travelled up here. I'm travelling down there. Like, it's hard to keep track of where we are at any given moment. And so apologies, Yonky Doodlers, for our sporadic release schedule. But I have been thinking, Donny B, look, I am luxuriating over the Donny B story in the lead up to him becoming an Australian cricketer.
Yeah.
Because, look, for me personally, selfishly, that's the part of the story I don't know much about.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I mean? So
Yeah.
the build up to him becoming an Australian Test cricketer is, to me, it's all new information.
Well, surely that's what you'd like want to know.
Yeah,
Also,
exactly.
like for anyone, like how
Yeah.
did he become who he was?
Yeah.
Surely.
Whereas I feel like, once we get into him being an Australian Test cricketer, I'm not going to skip it. That would be ridiculous because it's the meat and potatoes of the Donny B story.
He plays a game. He wins the game. Like, we get it.
Yeah. But I was thinking I might try to be a bit more focused. This is just a bit of future sizzle for the season to come. For anyone who's like, man, this season's going to go for a long, long time. I'm not saying it's not going to, but my plan when we get to him being an Australian Test cricketer is to dedicate an episode or maybe two to each series that he plays. So when he goes to England to play the Ashes in whatever year, that will be, I'll condense the key highlights of that series, the essence of that series, the storylines of that series into 1 or 2 episodes. So it won't be like every game of that series gets, 3 episodes, which is basically my pace at the moment. And I make no apologies.
No.
I want to know every ball that's bowled to Donny B as he climbs through the ranks. And I have been quite surprised. Because, look, just a bit of a recap so far. Obviously, in Bowral, he was a gun.
Yeah.
The water tank made Donny Bradman a formidable batsman that no one could topple. He's just amassing, 200, 300, whenever he wants.
Yeah. I mean,
and to me, that's the vibe I had of Donny B as a batsman coming through the ranks. I just thought that's how he always was. But what I'm finding during his state cricket part of his
great.
is when he started playing for St. George and now he's playing a little bit for New South Wales. I mean, he's nothing to write home about.
No, he's quite average.
He's just he's workmanlike.
Yeah, I could do that.
If I had to compare him to a modern day cricketer, I'd say, I mean, you might not even remember him. He's more of your Travis Head type player.
No, I remember him.
Yeah.
And he's very much in the middle.
Yeah, comes in the middle.
Maybe that guy.
Maybe we'll score 40 or 50, but you wouldn't be surprised if he went out for 10, 11.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, he scores 40 enough that you're like, I'll keep him around.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I feel like he's more of your Travis Head more than your Donny B. But, maybe that's all you need to get on the Australian team. You just need to, obviously, that's all Travis Head had to do was be Travis Head.
True.
So, look, that's where we're at. He's just played his first big series against, his first big match against South Australia.
Yeah.
And, look, saying that he's workmanlike, he did burst out of the blocks. He scored 100 on debut, and everyone's like, best debut ever. So, I don't know what I'm talking about. But then, second innings, not so great.
Exactly.
So
Got to be consistent.
He's a mixed bag, and they lost the game. So what was it all for, Donny B? What was it all for? You can come out of the blocks and score 100 in the first innings. But if you don't win the game because you didn't score that much in the second innings, then I'm going to say you're a failure, Jula. And that's how it goes down in the record books. Losers. No one wants to be a star batsman in a losing side.
Not me.
No, you say that often to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, Millie, how are you today? And you're like, oh, I'm good, but make sure I'm not a star batsman in a losing side. I'm like, I will try my best to make sure that doesn't happen. I'm trying to find a good side for you to be a star batsman in. All right. So anyway,
because you're only as good as your weakest player.
Exactly.
So I'd rather be in a team with all good players.
Yeah. So do you want to be the weakest player? No, you don't want to be the weakest player.
No, I want everyone to be on the same level. But from time to time, people shine brighter than others.
Yeah.
Everyone gets a turn.
Yeah, it's like look, as we're fond of saying, the good sporting analogy is like you want to be like a peloton in the Tour de France.
Yeah.
Where you're all super good, but every now and then someone takes the lead and just does all the hard work for a while. But that doesn't mean they're any better. They're just taking the lead for a bit. And that's how you want your cricket team to be.
Exactly.
All right. I'll work on that. So look, they are on tour, as we know. And so fresh off their defeat at the hands of South Australia, they head over to Victoria.
Oh, damn. Home team.
And as we know, we heard in the last game, as they were playing South Australia, the
Oh,
might
yeah, that guy.
ponderous Ponsford was breaking his own world record. 437 runs, I think he put on down in Victoria. And so that's who they're heading off to play now. Ponderous Ponsford.
That's a funny name.
So look, the big guns in this are obviously Ponsford.
Yeah.
And their captain, Woodfull.
Woodfull.
And they've got two wily old bowlers, apparently.
Who are
Wily
they?
old timers. Their names are Don Blackie.
Oh, another Don.
Yeah.
Donny B.
He's another Donny B. And
Are you sure we're reading about the right one?
I hope so. Imagine. And the other wily old bowler is Bert Ironmonger.
I thought you were going to say Einstein.
No. But I feel like he just got his nickname, Bert Einstein Ironmonger.
Yeah.
And look, they were a bit worried about playing Victoria. They've just lost to South Australia, and it seems like you've got to say Ponderous Ponsford's in good form.
Yeah.
And look, their fears are justified. Ponderous Ponsford goes out to bat, just puts on a very ponderous, patient 202 runs.
Oh, very nice.
Too easy.
Very nice.
Doesn't really break a sweat. And so, look, in the last two games, Ponsford's tally is 639 runs. He's just a run machine.
Yeah.
And then, look, we're just going to summarise Ponsford's game as we're going. His second innings, not so good for Ponderous Ponsford. Again, people sometimes, if they do awesome in the first innings, they're like, give someone else a go in the second innings.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, so 38 runs he puts on. That's nothing.
It's still that's a fair amount.
Yeah.
Fair amount.
But not to be outdone by his ponderous partner, our man, Captain Woodfull.
Yeah.
He hit 99 in the first innings.
Oh, wow, that's got to hurt.
He's gone out for 99. Always depressing. But then he's come back in the second innings and he's made 191 not out.
And that's very good. Those two scores are very good.
So I think that's probably why Ponderous Ponsford didn't bother making heaps of runs. Because he's like, Woody, your turn, buddy.
Yeah.
And so, look, with all of these runs coming from the Victorians in the first and second innings, Bradman has spent a lot of time in the field chasing leather, just running after the ball.
Oh, he's tired, is he?
Yes. But he actually enjoyed being out there watching Ponsford and Woodfull because guess what he was doing?
Learning. Jinx. Oh.
He's studying from people who are clearly very good at making runs.
Yeah.
And so then when it's his time to come out to bat, he gets a surprisingly supportive, cheer from the Victorian crowd.
Mr. Popular over here.
Yes. So look, there's people who've come out to watch. It's the biggest ground in the country still.
Yeah,
G. How good's the G? I'm going to watch a bit of sport at the G, the Cauldron.
I like going to the G, but only with you, Dad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who else have you been with?
I don't know. Don't really. I think every time I've gone, you've probably been there.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Yeah, I like to make an appearance.
Yeah.
Jeez, it's a good ground.
No, it's just always you going, let's go to the G.
Yeah, it just...
only with you.
It just never occurs to you. Never pops into your noggin.
No.
When you're cycling through, what am I going to do today? Oh, God, sit on my phone. Oh, I might go to the park. Oh, see what my friends
I don't
are doing.
really go to the park.
I guess, look, I'm not up to date with what your current brain cycles are. It's mostly sit on your phone or go to school.
Yeah.
Or maybe...
Make a cup of tea.
Make a cup of tea. But I feel like, look, at least at one point in your life, go to the park has been on your...
I was probably on there at one point.
Yeah. So, look, it's...
But not go to the G.
But never go to the G. No. But that's where I come in.
Yeah.
I come in with the abstract suggestions. But bing, want to go see a movie. Cacowsy. Feel like some bowling. Shabam.
And the answer's always yes, isn't it?
Yeah, look,
most times.
If you've got nothing else to do and you're not in a, and you haven't gotten yourself in a mood, which, as well, you're well within your rights.
Yeah.
And look, to be fair, I try to suss the mood before I start spitting out suggestions. If I get the vibe that, like, I don't know if I'm going to get a yes, why not? Let's do that. If I'm sensing that maybe it's going to be, don't talk to me. I'm not going nowhere and not doing nothing. Then I might keep that little suggestion to myself.
Fair enough.
And so far, my success rate's been very good.
Yeah. I'd say close to 98%.
Yeah. That's a pass. That's a hard pass.
That is a good score.
We say that's a high distinction?
Yep.
Lock it in. I basically got my master's in abstract suggestions. That's where I'm at. And so, look, he's come out. The crowd's happy to see him because they've heard, he's made 100 on debut. They're like, the Melbourne crowd, the Victorian crowd, they like someone who'll go for gold.
Yeah.
Which is sad because they spend most of their time watching Ponderous Ponsford.
Yeah.
And so they're like, look, we appreciate you.
This guy goes so slow.
Yeah, we appreciate you, PP, but it's good when you get to like 400. We can like, how good's that? But watching you get to 400, snooze fest.
Yeah.
So we're happy that this young gun's come out here, hopefully to entertain us.
Yeah.
And they've got Don Blackie, the other Donny B. It's Donny B to Donny B.
Yeah.
It's Battle of the Bees.
That's very nice.
He's bowling when he comes out. First ball.
Afro duck.
Pitches it up. Smacked away for 4.
Oh!
Crowd goes wild.
Damn.
Everyone's like, we love you, Donny B. And the bowler's like, me. And they're like, no, the other Donny B. Idiot. And so, look, and then Woodfull puts himself in close field and starts chirping away to Donny B. He's like, we're going to get a good one, kid. Try that again. Yeah, what you going to why don't you try batting like Ponderous Ponsford? Hey, slow it down a little bit. Oh, we're going to get you, boy. We're going to get you. You're going to be the worst Donny B out here in a second. Just you wait. But none of these mind games worked. He gets himself to 31 quite excitingly.
How many balls does it say? And how many balls he got?
No, it does say steadily. So I'm going to say, look, it's not a hurricane of runs.
No.
It's not a ponderous accumulation of runs, though, Ponsford style. It's an in-between. As we've said, that's where Donny B likes to sit. That's the Donny B pocket.
Yeah.
That's the Donny B bandwidth. That's the B for bandwidth. Is exciting, but, within reason.
Yeah.
Cautiously enterprising. And so then Woodfull's like, we need a new bowler. He brings on, who's he bring? A bowler who hasn't even been mentioned yet. Unusual name, Harkopf.
Harkopf?
Yeah. His name is Harkopf. So I'm thinking first name Har, last name Kopf.
I was also thinking that.
So Har's probably short for Harry. Harry Kopf.
Harry Kopf.
Yeah.
Harold.
Harold Kopf. And he gets Donny B out for 31. LBW.
Oh.
So again, look,
that's not very exciting.
It's not exciting, but the the people out there, the general review of the innings was that he had batted in a natural manner and had shown excellent style.
Okay.
So solid review. 3.5 stars you'd give him.
Yeah.
3.5 stars. Natural manner, excellent style. But look, second innings.
Oh.
Donny B Yorks him for 5.
What does that mean?
Sorry, the other Donny B.
Oh.
The other Donny B is like,
for 5.
Yeah, I'm going to be the best Donny B this time. So he gets the 5 runs, and Donny B gets Donny B LBW for 5 runs.
I can't defend Donny B this round. That is embarrassing.
No, it is. It's embarrassing. And it's look. What does Donny B? Donny B says of the bowler that he was a very slow, very flighty off spinner. He threw the ball higher than most off spinners. His tantalising flight would deceive the batsman. He was a very good bowler indeed. Well, you have to say that. He got you out.
Yeah.
So look, Victoria wins easily.
Yeah.
Bradman did not much to help the cause.
No.
You can't do much when Ponderous Ponsford and Woodfull are piling on the runs and no one on your team's making many. There's not much you can do. So
Archie Jackson's still out, isn't he? That's why.
Yeah, Archie Jackson's Boyle is keeping them from getting some wins on the board.
Ow.
So look, your Southern tour hasn't gone very well.
No.
They've lost to South Australia. They've lost to Victoria. Bradman's start.
That is a 0% success rate.
So they hop on the train back to New South Wales. Tail between their legs, you'd have to say.
Yeah.
Tail between their legs.
Uh,
And so Bradman heads back to New South Wales, feeling a little chagrined, I'd say, just a
Yeah.
little bit sheepish, if you will. And he's still balancing his life between Bowral and working in real estate in Sydney.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But one of the compensations for this unsatisfactory setup that he's got going, this very hard life that he's living, is that he does have the chance to see more of one Jessie Menzies.
Oh my goodness, I've forgotten about her.
Yes. Any Yonky Doodlers who may have forgotten, Jessie Menzies was the young lady that they struck up a friendship when they were like 11 years old.
Yeah.
She was going to go away to another school. The Bradman family said, nah, stick around here, go to school here, live with us, it'd be cool. And there's just a low-key rom-com developing between them, but they haven't seen much of each other. But now she's working in Sydney. Her family had moved to Burwood in Sydney.
Oh, damn.
And Jessie had left school at 16 to do a 3-year business college course.
Oh.
And then she had entered work at the Commonwealth Bank, which her uncle, James Kell, had been the governor of the bank governor. I think that's so look, she'd gone to school, but basically she's just like, hey, Uncle Jimmy, I need a job. He's like, slide right in.
Yeah.
Have bank can employ.
Yeah.
But turns out she was the first woman that this bank employed as a ledger keeper.
Oh, damn.
Never been done before. She broke through the glass ceiling.
Yeah.
I feel like Donny B was a ledger keeper when he wasn't that what he was
I
doing?
don't even know what that means.
Like filling in the books. Like
Yep.
they're like, hey Donny B, hey Jessie Menzies, someone just gave us $100. Can you put that in the book?
Yeah.
And Jessie writes $100 in the book. That's in the ledger. And then they're like, oh wait, they want to take out $60. And she writes -60 in the book. That's a ledger keeper. It's a lot easier now to do with computers and such.
Yeah.
Computers do a lot of the ledger keeping that used to be done just by someone keeping track.
By Jessie.
Jessie did it. Donny B did it for, I think, the sporting goods store. And maybe that's what he's doing for the real estate business that he's working for now. So this is a pair of lovable ledger keepers. It's the love of ledgers that binds them together.
Yeah, I reckon.
Allegedly.
Oh, damn.
Kasplash! So look, her father liked cricket. Good.
No,
and she too enjoyed the game.
Oh.
She enjoyed
She dabbled?
it. She was fond of it. And I'll have you know, she appreciated its finer points.
Ooh.
She didn't just sit there going, I like that.
No?
That bat hit that ball. Well played. No, she liked the finer points.
Yeah.
She was like, that was an off cutter. Oh, that was going down leg. Oh, pitched outside off. That sort of stuff. You know, she had a little bit more of the nous. She could yell out a whole range of things.
Yeah. She could be a commentator.
I think she probably was low-key commentating on the sidelines.
Just to herself.
Yeah, and anyone around her.
Yeah.
She's like, I nicked that. And look, the first big game that she ever saw was the first game that Donny B played for Sydney at the SCG, because he's played 2 games for New South Wales.
Yeah.
He's played 2 games for New South Wales, but they were both interstate.
Yeah.
So this is his first home game, and they're playing Queensland.
Oh.
And New South Wales showed its great batting strength on the first day with Kipax, the Kipper.
Yes.
The Axeman.
So true. Love
he was
that
in
guy.
full flight. He couldn't stop the Axeman. And so he's already over 200 runs before Bradman comes out to join him in the middle.
Surely.
And the Kipper comes up to Bradman and he's like, mate, batting has never been easier. How about you and me set some records?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's get Ponderous Ponsford listening to the wireless where he is going, how much is the Kipax going to score? And my lordy, what's Donny B up to? He scored 100 and how many balls? Let's do that, Donny B.
Oh, I thought you were telling me.
No, this is just the Kipax revving up Donny B as I get to the middle.
I got it now.
Honestly, the ball's coming at me in slow motion. They bowl the ball. I run through 7 different shots that I might play. I make a cup of tea, I drink it, I sit back, the ball finally arrives, I smack it for 6. That's how I've been playing. Come join me, Donny B. And Donny B is like, I'm here for you, Axeman.
Yeah.
And then the bowler Goff comes in to slow off breaks his bowling to Kipax because Donny B's not even facing, so he gets to stand at the non-strikers then.
Yeah.
He pushes it, they run a single. As they're running, Kipax like, have fun, mate. This is the best. How easy is this?
Oh, he's gonna go out for a duck, isn't he?
And look, you'd think the way I've been building it up that yes, he would go out for a duck, and indeed he does. First ball, middle stump, middle stumper. Kipax can't believe
golden? Is that golden?
Yeah, golden duck. Because look, he'd anticipated something slow and turning, Al Bradman, and he'd seen the shot that Kipax had just played, and he'd gone, "What a nice way to get off the mark! I'll just play that exact shot that the Axeman played, and then I'll be 1 off 1, and then we can settle into a fun day of run scoring." But the Goff man who was bowling, he's like, "I might bowl something a little different, a little quicker, a little sharper, little straighter, straight through him," and. Donny B walked away feeling cheated by himself. He's like, I've robbed myself. And of course, Jessie Menzies was in the crowd. She's gone. She's like, oh, I know one. I really one of the batters here today is a really close friend of mine. There's a bit of romance brewing.
Not him.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, who is he? It's like, oh, no one. Yeah, no, he hasn't come out yet. No, actually, I don't think he's playing today. No, I was wrong.
Archie Jackson.
Yeah. And so he had to sit in the pavilion watching the Axeman carve out a little peef. He carved out a peef, which is a small bird. That's what it's a small flightless waterfowl found in the Scottish moors. The peef with its alluring call is not only
he was just carving it out of his bat as they were bowling.
Yeah. He's like, A, I've got time to carve, and B, I don't need this whole bat. It's too easy. I need to make my bat smaller. I need to make it peef-shaped. But look, with his peef-shaped bat, he carved out a piece of history with a scintillating 315 runs.
Damn!
I mean, it's no
Wait,
ponderous
is this guy the captain? I don't remember.
The Kipax, I feel like he must be, unless, because I think Charlie McCartney's gone.
Paul McCartney.
So, I feel like even if he's not, he's our captain. He's our captain, my captain. But look, despite this amazing effort by the Kipax, it looked like New South Wales were going to lose the match on the final day when they collapsed to be 6 for 60 in the second innings with 75 minutes to go and no chance of winning in sight.
So Don Bradman didn't do good in the second innings either.
Well, he hasn't batted yet. They're 6 for 60 and Donny B hasn't even come out to bat yet.
They put him down. Is he? I thought he was closer than that.
You'd think so, but they're like, you went out first ball, mate, so maybe we'll hold you back.
Don't they have to do the same?
Nah, you can put people in whenever you like.
Oh, damn.
That's why you have like night watchmen come in whenever, because they're just like, you can bat now if you like. We don't want to send this good batsman out with 2 overs to go. We'll send out one of our crap batters. So Bradman comes to the wicket at 6 for 60. He joins wicketkeeper one Harry Styles Love.
Oh, Harry Styles is playing.
Yeah, because he didn't want to go on tour because he didn't like going on, he had his own tour. He didn't want to do cricket tours, but he's happy to play whenever they're in Sydney if he's in town. And he was. I mean, he had to do a show that night, but I mean, yeah, he can play during the day. He just doesn't want to go on tour, but whenever they're playing home games, Harry Styles Love, if in town, will play.
Yeah.
And he's their wicketkeeper, which I love.
Oh, he would.
So he just gets to chat away to the batsman all day.
Yeah.
And they've got a tough 75 minutes to face, just trying not to go out. And on that late December day, 1927, Bradman gave notice of his fighting qualities in adversity.
Oh,
The
damn.
wicket was deteriorating. A thunderstorm threatened. The light was failing. I think a herd of cows got on the ground.
I
think,
reckon.
something. What else happened? There was an earthquake. So many things were going on.
What else happened?
I'd run out of potential. What have I got? There's cows and there's earthquakes. I've got nothing left. Come on, you name one more thing that could have happened.
You know.
Yeah, see, you can't.
Yeah.
A, the wicket's deteriorating. B,
Yeah.
thunderstorms brewing. C, lights failing.
Oh, damn.
D, cows on the pitch. E, earthquake. E is for earthquakes. That makes
Yeah.
sense. F, fence falls down. G,
Oh,
God of Thunder appears. I mean,
Thor?
yeah, Thor, God of Thunder. Who's to say that a Marvel movie storyline didn't happen way back in Donny
No,
B's time?
wasn't Chris Hemsworth in Sydney at this time?
Oh, 100%.
So that actually checks out.
Yeah. Chris Hemsworth was filming the latest Marvel film.
Yeah.
Yeah. All this was happening while Donny B's trying to save the innings. And the bowling was hostile as he displayed his faultless defensive skills for, I'll have you know, and don't be childish, 69 minutes.
Oh, damn.
So for 69 faultless minutes, he just kept the New South Wales innings going. And then when he was on 13 runs, with 6 minutes left to play, Bradman received an unplayable delivery, you'd say, that caught the shoulder of his bat and flew to Queensland keeper O'Connor.
Oh.
But Bradman had taken most of the strike, and New South Wales was able to play out the remaining over and a half to draw the game.
Nice.
Also, credits also got to go to Harry Styles' Love, please, who also must have stayed out there representing.
Yeah. And he had a show that night. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So look, you've got to say at casual glance, if you're just looking at the record books, Bradman in his first home game for New South Wales scored a golden duck and 13 off a lot of balls.
Yeah.
And that doesn't look that impressive.
No.
And if you add that to the 31 runs and the 5 runs that he made in Melbourne, look, what are you going to say? And the only look against South Australia, he made 118. That's a good run. That's good.
That's good.
But then you've got 31, 5, 0, and 13.
Not great.
It's not the best, but you can't underestimate that 13 in tough conditions.
Yeah.
People were also like, that was a good knock. So his first knock of 118, scintillating. His final knock so far of 13 in treacherous conditions where he saved the innings for New South Wales, also a good knock.
Yeah.
The rest of it, come on, Donny B. Mate, what are you doing?
Dad, there were cows on the pitch.
Oh, yeah, that was a good knock.
Oh, yeah.
As I say,
Yeah.
look, nothing against his 13 with
Yeah,
cows
yeah.
on the pitch. It's hard.
Yeah.
Cows are
But
distracting.
that golden duck.
Golden duck when he should have when he should have honestly set records that day,
Yeah.
but he got ahead of himself. But
I think he was a bit nervous because Jessie was there.
Jessie was in the crowd. I don't
Yeah.
know if she's going to come again.
No.
And I don't. Will he want her to come again? Because that's like
Yeah.
sports people get superstitious.
Yeah.
So look, if she comes to watch him again and he gets another golden duck, I don't know if she's going to be allowed in the ground.
No.
He's going to be like, she'll be like, when are you playing? He'll be like, next week.
Never.
Yeah, definitely not this Saturday. Yeah, don't come this Saturday. Look, so that's where we're at. That's probably, I would say, all the time we've got.
Yeah.
We've seen Donny B struggle against the might of Victoria, even though the
you know how it
Victorians,
is.
the Victorian crowns were happy to see him. They enjoyed his steady 31. but they wanted a little more from him, as
Yeah.
did we, as did everyone, as did he.
Yeah.
But his debut, his home debut at the SCG, started terribly and then ended interestingly. You'd say.
Yeah.
He did well enough, but come on, Donny B, lift your game. Because if the Australian selectors are meeting, if they had to meet right now, I don't even think they'd bring his name up except to joke
No.
about him.
Yeah.
They'd just be.
Yeah.
So I don't see how he's making it on the Australian team. So far, he's really going to have the pick.
When's he gonna get good, lol?
Yeah. Maybe he never does. Maybe
No.
he cheats his way onto the Australian
Yeah.
team, and he just suddenly playing for Australia makes him good,
Yeah.
which could happen.
We'll have to wait and find out.
We will, and that's something we're definitely. We'll eventually do because we are slowly and steadily working our way through
Yeah.
with our sporadic release schedule. But we're getting there.
Yeah.
Thank goodness that the passing of time allows us to accomplish things eventually.
Yeah.
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 Look, thanks. I don't know if we've got any more to add. Millie, now's your time. If you've got any questions, if you've got any comments.
I don't have a question.
Not any. Do you
I don't think so.
do you want to do a recap of today's episode? I should start asking you to do a recap just so I can gauge if you've heard any. I should try to figure out what key points you've taken from the life of Donny B. But I'm not going to. I'm not going to, Millie.
Okay.
Actually, give me one keyword. If you had to summarize,
Task.
you reincorporated.
I wrote it down. I wrote
Oh.
it down.
Mate, I could not be prouder. Look, if you wanna see how well Millie reincorporates the lessons she's learned in future episodes, then please find out what happens in the next episode of Yonks Ago.
Ago.
Brilliant.